Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by OnPay, Atlanta's new standard in payroll. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. But before we get started, it's important to recognize our sponsor, OnPay. Without them, we couldn't be sharing these important stories. Today on Atlanta Business Radio, we have Daniel Klein with Joseph Studios. Welcome, Daniel.
Hey, Lee. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us about Joseph Studios. How you serving folks?
So Joseph Studios is an organic-focused marketing and PR agency here in Atlanta. Been in Atlanta since 2017, but we're a remote agency across the whole U.S., predominantly focused on what we call deep insight. It's the ability to find, join, and influence your ideal buyers basically anywhere on the digital landscape. It's pretty cool.
So what does an ideal client look like for you?
Ideal clients for us are those who are trying to influence a particular person. They have a need, they have a lifestyle they're trying to reach or a solution they're trying to get at. They might hang out in specific areas of the internet, and the brand that's trying to reach out to them just doesn't have a good lay of the land, as it were, or they're specifically trying to reach these subgroups. And so what we can do is we can very quickly understand who is in each brand's area of operations and who are the key players within these social networks. And we can build messaging that resonates with that particular person. Much like the book Love Languages, where everyone needs to have I love you said in a slightly different way. This is that at scale and from a marketing and PR aspect. So it's being able to say things in a very niche way to each type of person. Kind of like when your mom asks you something, you might say it differently than if your dad asked for something. It's the same approach, just at scale.
Now, does it work better for B2C or B2B, or does it matter?
So we have both. So we're one of 3 agencies authorized to work on behalf of Rolex USA. We're supporting major streaming services online. We're also supporting mom and pops who are getting started in e-commerce. So it works great from the B2B perspective in that we can target like the leadership teams of major brands and build psychographic profiles for those groups of people and then message them in those niche ways that we know they're going to resonate and get attention and attraction with them. We can also get broad spectrum appeal. So if you're trying to influence someone through a distributor network, say, for example, for the beverage industry, or you're trying to grow grassroots style campaign for, say, HVAC or some sort of like electrical generation capability, we can do that too. It's finding, joining, and influencing those ideal buyers literally anywhere.
Now, are the tactics you use, are they advertising? Are they PR, or is it a combination?
It'll be a combination. So we'll build a package that's unique to each person based on the needs that they have. So for example, if you're just getting started and you're about to launch, there might be some awareness activities that we need to do, and we'll build out campaigns that are going to grow that awareness. There might be retargeting efforts. There might be client acquisition and lifetime customer value campaigns that we do to keep and then build on that follower base and that client base that you have. So when you show up at Joseph Studios, we're going to have a package that's built specifically for you in the place that you are in your entrepreneurial journey or your brand journey. And that gets you a specific way of down the path. And we'll measure those results every month and every quarter, and we'll update the plan as we go as part of an iterative process improvement methodology.
Now, do you come into your clients kind of on a one-off project when you start and then it grows from there? Or is this something where either they've never had a marketing partner before, or they had a bad experience and they want someone just to take over the whole show?
Yeah, so great question. We do have brands that come to us with very specific goals in mind. Perfect. We can help them out. We have brands that come to us because they work with several agencies that aren't working well with each other, and they're not talking to each other. So they send it over to us and bring it all in-house under one roof. We have brands that want us to do everything. We have a lot of clients who are new or newish chief marketing officers, probably within like 4 to 6 months of landing that job. And their board of directors gives them an absurd amount of work that they have to get done. And they're just like, my gosh, I can't get all this done in one go. This is insane. And then they hire us to be their one-stop shop for everything marketing, ads, and PR. There's no right or wrong way to go down that path. And that's kind of the the difficult part of being in business is it might work for one person, it might not work for their competition. And understanding those nuances, understanding what works, and then systematically growing what we would call verticals or the campaigns that are working while understanding the limitations. That's why you would hire an agency like Joseph Studios. And to your point, there are plenty of bad actors out there, and there are low barriers to entry when it comes to marketing. Any mechanic, for example, I used to be a mechanic, but any mechanic can wake up one day and be like, you know what, this is a thing for me. But I tell you, it's a discipline, it's a profession, and we've been at this profession for literal years. I've been doing this nonstop every day for 7 straight years. And my teammates have between 5 and 7 full-time dedicated years doing this, and nothing else. And so if you come to us and you're looking for a social media manager or a PR manager, they've been doing that their entire career. They see this as their profession and their career, and they're very focused and driven towards making sure that you have the absolute best outcome possible. So it really is dependent on who you go with, but when you go with Joseph Studios, you're going to be in excellent hands.
Now, I'm a big believer in having people who are experts do what they do. And walk me through what that first conversation's like, to make sure that when someone's dealing with you, you know that you can help them get the outcome they desire, and they know they're dealing with somebody that's kind of an expert. So it's kind of a vetting for both of you. What does that first conversation look like? I would imagine you're asking a lot more questions of them than maybe they anticipate.
Yeah, a lot of times that first conversation, we don't really go over any presentation materials whatsoever, and it's just understanding what they want the next steps to be and what they want the outcomes to be and what they've tried before, and doing a little bit of ideation with them and working with them. But that first meeting really is a free consultation, and I can answer questions along the way. So can my teammates. We can brainstorm ideas and solutions and come up with really great campaigns or the frameworks. But it's that first meeting, that discovery meeting, is not a sales call. It is very much free consultation work.
So what are some of the questions you'll ask?
Some of the questions we'll ask include, where are you today in your brand journey? What are you hoping to achieve? Where do you hope to go? It'll include, what are you currently doing and trying? Is it working? What are you measuring, and how are you measuring it? It fits into some of the things that you might see in the corporate world. There's 2 frameworks that come to mind. One's called SMART. It's a way of setting goals. SMART stands for sizable, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, I believe. Relevant and time-bound. So understanding where our clients' goals are from a SMART perspective, super duper important. The other is called DMAIC, D-M-A-I-C, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And the questions in that instance are going to help us understand how is their ability to control and monitor and improve upon their current situation today, and what can we do to enhance that. So a lot of the initial questions that we ask are trying to understand, how in control of their own process are they? What goals and aspirations do they have, and how well defined are they? And if not, and we're kind of starting from scratch, that's okay too. That's probably 30-40% of the companies out there. They're just looking for help. They just need to get things under control. They just need to grow. They just need to know that their marketing and advertising dollars are going to make them profit. And so they would hire an agency like Joseph Studios, and we come in and make sure that happens.
Now, do you have any advice for the entrepreneur that's out there on how to leverage AI? It's in the news every day. Yeah. People are talking about it. It seems overwhelming for some folks. It seems like something you should lock up and never look at for other folks. How would you recommend your clients and or prospective clients to at least kind of dabble with AI to know what it is, number one, but also know how to best leverage it moving forward?
Sure. Yeah. So we use AI here at the agency. The way we use it is not to be any kind of corner cutting. That's not what it's for. What we use AI for is to introduce our teammates and ourselves and our clients to new ideas quickly. So if we wanted to come up with a list of 20 podcast titles, 30 seconds, Boom, done right there. And instead of coming up with a whole bunch of really creative, cool, clever ideas over a 2 or 3 hour period, we can iterate through 60 pretty creative ideas, and at the very least get an idea of what we're hoping for. If you need to get access to specific information very quickly, it's a great tool. Think of it more as a calculator than it is like a one-stop end-all be-all solution. And it's definitely not omnipresent or all-knowing or anything else. It does make mistakes. It does have typos, and it does provide factually inaccurate information. So use it, but use it as a tool, just like you would a shovel, just like you would a forklift. It's a cool whiz-bang thing that will absolutely become a part of our shared future. But it is not a solution that I would replace a human with. Not at all.
Now, do you have any marketing advice for the listener right now? Something that's actionable that they could be doing today that they're probably not doing?
Some things that I don't see people doing that I think they absolutely should. More direct to consumer. I think going more direct to consumer is a good thing. But again, it depends on the industry. So anytime you're able to build a relationship with your end consumer and help showcase that their life is going to be better as a result of choosing your brand versus other brands, that's when you're winning. That's when you're systematically winning, whether it be through ads or PR or marketing or anything else. Building those relationships at scale is something that I think more brands should be doing. And doing that in more authentic and genuine ways is definitely something that we're not doing enough of as a market industry, but absolutely should.
Now, is there a niche that you specialize in, or are you pretty industry agnostic?
Industry agnostic, but the common denominator between all the brands we represent is that they want to build relationships with their end consumers. They want to improve upon their lives. They want to better their lives. They want to be there for them. They don't want to be a logo. They want to be a group of humans who have come together as a company and want to better the lives of others. That's what we're after. We don't necessarily, we're not necessarily the best approach for any kind of like the cheapest is the best type solution. So if your brand is a commodity, or it's like just get this El Cheapo kind of stuff out there, we don't really care about quality, then Joseph Studios might not be the best approach. But if you care about quality, you care about your customers, you want to be a human, and you want to be more than a logo, then we're a great choice.
So what do you need more of? How can we help you?
Oh, how can you help me?
Yeah, do you need more talent? Do you need more clients? What are you looking for?
That's a great question. I think at the moment we are looking for a chief marketing officer, if you can believe it. We're looking for a chief marketing officer, someone who can be there for our clients from the very beginning and help them realize a shared vision. We have some really great team members, and I think it's time that we look for a chief marketing officer. So if you're out there in the Atlanta or U.S. market and you're considering that next step in your career, and you're thinking, you know what, I think I would be a great chief marketing officer for a handful of high caliber client companies within an agency, then let us know.
Good stuff. Well, Daniel, if somebody wants to connect with you or somebody on your team, what is the coordinates? What's the website?
Check us out at josephstudios.net. You can also check me out on LinkedIn, and you can send us an email. For contact information's on the contact page of our website, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Thanks, Lee. Appreciate you.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.